Well, thank you so much for getting on this call. As you know, we have this call on the fourth Tuesday of every month. This call is open to our guests, but it is specifically geared to our REIA NYC members. And this call is actually to help you get your questions answered, help you overcome obstacles, and we always have a topic of interest for our members to actually participate in. So as 2017 has now entered, we are actually now focused again on our adding $100,000 to your income in the 12 months or less. So in 2017, we are actually focused on how can we add $100,000 to our income in the next 12 months. And what we're going to be focused on is basically treating your business as the CEO of your business and try to find out how can we best help you overcome your challenges, help you with your marketing, help you with your customer service, help you create your sales funnels, and also help you try to find your business partners in real estate and or joint venture partners if you are looking to actually add additional revenue into your actual revenue stream. Okay? One of the things that I want to start out by saying is, how did you or how didn't you act as a CEO in 2016? And then how can you now in 2017 turn it all around? So ask yourself as you're listening to this call, and I'm really hoping that you actually have pen and paper so that you can actually take copious notes, because we're going to go over a lot of detail. I only have an hour with you because I have to jump off and do another mastermind call. So I am very hopeful that you are taking adequate notes. We at REIA NYC pride ourselves on our actual makeup of our REIA NYC membership. We divide our members into two teams, and our teams are called A Team, which is actually facilitated by the very own Daniela Fairburn, who was so graciously to give me an introduction. And she is a published author. She is a customer service solutions provider, or customer service architect, customer solutions architect. And she also has a day job, and she's actually helping facilitate as an executive in that venture. She's also a seasoned real estate investor. And she's actually familiar with partnerships, whether it be money partners and or credit partners. She actually is able to assist you in that. So she definitely helps our team members, with her monthly calls, and actually you email her and you text her and get all that information from your team leader if you are so fortunate to have Daniela Fairburn as your team leader. And then we have our other team, which is co-facilitated by our twins, Sandy Ferrari and Natasha Ferrari, and they facilitate team success. And they actually are successful in their own right. They actually are venturing into the note and the tax lien, tax deed arena. They are seasoned wholesale investors. They actually have buy and hold property in Pittsburgh and Memphis. And they actually hold their monthly calls for REIA NYC for their team members of the membership. So if you are fortunate enough to have Sandra Ferrari and Daniela, and Natasha Ferrari as your team leaders, you are also fortunate. What I failed to mention is Dr. Lori Nicholas is also a co-facilitator for the A-Team, and you may have received phone calls from her as to our monthly meetings and reminders and things of that sort, and she does our checkup calls, our wellness calls, if we call them, for our members to check in on you to find out where you are if you need some other assistance. She also is our financial coach. She actually helps, she is authorized and certified to help in financial coaching aspects. And she helps you get your mindset and psychology right and help you focus on your budgeting needs and things of that sort. And then we have our Heather Robinson, who is our in-house financial analyst. She actually does it for the corporate world, but she is fortunate enough to actually help us in REIA NYC, and she's the one who helps you create your revenue models and structure your revenue models, help you structure your deals and make sure the numbers make sense. And she also helps you on a monthly basis to actually make sure your books are right and your bookkeeping is right so that you can hand them into your bookkeeper. and your CPA. She is also a seasoned real estate investor in her own right. She is structured in tax liens and tax deeds. She also is familiar with the stock market, and she runs stock market investment clubs as well as real estate investment clubs across the country. And she is also a buy and hold investor in her own right, and that is who we have helping you with your finances. And then we have Mr. Paul Bodley, who is our legislative committee chair. He keeps us all focused and making sure we're in compliance with everything that we need to know about real estate and the laws and legislations that affect our real estate investing at this moment. Also, we have with us Coach William Moore. He is the Chief of Staff and Business Development Director for REIA NYC, and he will be handling our membership until our very own Sharon Clark comes back from leave. But right now we do have Coach Moore on the line, and I do want to give him a few minutes before we get started on our coaching topic for today. Coach Moore, do we have you on the line, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Well, Shark, and it's such an honor to be on this call. Thank you for having me. And ladies and gentlemen who are on this call, yes, I'm the Chief of Staff, and really I'll be in partnership, with the coaches and really helping you get the best that you can out of this membership. And for your guests, we're so glad that you're taking a look at what we're offering. I've been a vendor member of the REIA since 2009, so I have worked with REIA members. I understand their needs. They have very special needs, and we understand that, and I'm so glad to help and do whatever it is that I can do. More than likely, I'll be the gentleman who usually follows up. So if you put in a game plan request, I'll be the gentleman who will be giving you a call back or reaching out to you to get an idea of where you are. When you come to the local meetings, I am the adorable guy that's in the back. So if you see the Denzel Washington-looking guy in the back, that's me. Be able to definitely accommodate you in anything that you need, questions, any concerns. And like I said, look at me as a support partner. Just one quick note, some of the upcoming things that we got coming up, and that's why I'm just so excited. We're going to be providing people the services like personal credit and education and restoration, because that is very important when you're talking about investing, because credit is the center of all business and the essence of financial planning, so definitely help you with that. We also have a support group known as Mentor, really just trying to help the guys out. And it's not really just men, but still, we wanted to have a platform to support them. We have asset protection services, because that's also very important in regards of, investing. And then a new and exciting announcement will be coming out is called the Ambassador Program. We want to help people establish and expand their cash receipts. So as you can see, we have so many things that are coming out. Looking forward to meeting with you, working with you, hopefully investing with you, and doing some big things. Back to you, Dr. Martin. Shark.
Shark, thank you so much for that. And I do know that there's a lot of people who are asking that they could not get on because they had a replay link. So I'm so sorry about that. I do believe that you guys were given the wrong link. So I'm going to now give you the actual link so that you can get connected with that. I don't know why it's not actually showing. So the actual link is iteleseminar.com, iteleseminar.com/940-984-05. Again, that's 940-984-05. And you'll be asked to put in a password, and that password is Wealth 2017. Again, it's Wealth 2017. Okay. So hopefully everyone's able to get on now. If not, then you can just hear me so that we can keep the call moving. So again, I was mentioning treating your business like a business, and starting now, asking yourself, how did you act like a CEO in 2016, and how can you change that in 2017? So let me just ask you these questions. So, as of 2016, did you take any calculated risk in 2016? Did you hit your sales goals, whether it be real estate, whether it be business goals? Did you actually hit those goals? And how did you perform in those goals? Did you set up your metrics to make sure that you're tracking your numbers, to make sure that you're hitting your financial goals and your customer goals in 2016? Did you, were they results driven? And did you invest in yourself, and did you invest in education? Okay. Now, if you answered no or could have done more or whatever in 2016, now we turn to 2017 because now we're in a fresh start. Okay. We're 24 days into the new year, and ask yourself, what risk will you take in 2017? And how many sales, whether it be wholesale deals, whether it be if you have a book, how many book sales will you do? If you actually have a side hustle or a side business, how many of those units will you do? How many will you make this year? And then what will be your key performance indicator? So normally our key performance indicator is based on money, finances, okay? So if I actually now want to make $50,000 in my real estate and I'm wholesaling, okay, and I talk about this a lot in new member orientation, and, you are now charging $10,000 for a wholesale deal. Okay, that means that I would need to do 5 wholesale deals, in order to hit my $50,000 goal. Now, obviously, that's not net, okay, that's gross, and we haven't backed out our expenses and things of that sort. But the key indicator in that would be money, finances, income, okay? So you need to find out what would your key performance indicator be for that. And then how much will you actually make at the end of 2017, okay? At the end of 2017, how much would you actually make? We have an open line, and I need somebody to press *6. What classes are you planning to attend to improve yourself? That's going to be the key, because I know that a lot of people say, I have never invested in education, or I've never invested in any real estate courses or anything like that, and that's fine. But my question to you is, then what are you learning from? Are you learning from books? Are you learning from people? Are you making sure that you're keeping abreast of the latest and greatest techniques and tools? So how are you actually investing or planning to invest to improve yourselves? Okay, because I have a marketing budget and I also have an education budget, because I do know that I need to learn from people who are doing other strategies, who are doing different techniques, and who may have different team members. I need to get into that group so that I can actually now learn from them. So it scares me when people say I haven't invested into my education regarding real estate, because it scares me, because now I don't know whether or not you're set up properly. I don't know if you're in entities. I don't know what's going on with you, but that scares me. So make sure that you focus on some type of education that you're actually putting yourself in to make sure that you are now not falling afoul of the law. You're not, you're in compliance, and you're making sure that your entity formations is actually structured properly and things of that sort. Okay? Then we move on to finding out what is the source of your money. Where are you actually getting your money from? Okay, so we learned this from Robert Kiyosaki, right? So he talked about the cash flow quadrant, right? He talked about being self-employed. He talked about, having a small business. He talked about having a big business and investments and things of that sort. So I'm going to ask you, where are you getting the bulk of your money? Are you getting it from your day job? Are you getting it from a small business? Are you getting it from self-employment? Are you getting it from investments? All of these things should be taken into account as you're actually building up to try to figure out how you're going to grow 100K, and that should be your bare minimum, but we'll talk about that when I open up the line. And also, now we want to focus on the small business, okay, or home-based business, small business, however you want to look at it. The 5 areas that we really want you to focus in on is business entities, team, networking, marketing, sales, and sales would have you can break down revenue modeling, which means tracking your money. Okay, so, underneath all these things, we have different things. So when we talk about entity, okay, now a lot of people are, working from home or playing small, so they don't actually they don't actually have a business entity set up yet. They may be working as a sole proprietor, or they may be working as a sole proprietor, but they also set it up, where the sole proprietorship also has an EIN number separate and apart from their Social Security number, okay? But that's still, not giving you the necessary protections in that, okay? And next month, February 9th, at our general meeting, I'm actually going to be going over entity formations and market structuring and entity formations. And I really want to focus you in on, some of the reasons for an LLC formation, because in real estate investing and even in most business structures, I'm going to say that the LLC is the best form, and then where you actually set it up is also going to be dependent upon where you're actually doing business and things of that sort. But some of the reasons for the LLC formation is not being taxed twice, right? So since LLCs are taxed in the same way that sole proprietorships are taxed, they can actually help you avoid being taxed twice. And that double taxation, may also occur with entities such as the C Corp, because, both your corporation and you will be taxed by the IRS. So an LLC can support several classes of stock, and they also can be converted later, to be changed into a corporation, depending on where it is that you're actually doing business. And a lot of people ask, should I do Nevada? Should I do Delaware? Should I do New York, since I'm based in New York, and things of that sort? And the answer is always going to be, it actually depends, right? It's going to depend on what you're actually doing. Most people like Nevada LLCs, okay? Some people like Wyoming LLCs. There are reasons why you might want to do Nevada, and there's reasons why you might want to do Wyoming. There may be also a specific reason why you need to do New York versus Delaware. So you need to make sure that you get a good attorney that actually knows how to actually structure your entity based on your specific needs, because it gets to be a little tricky when you actually talk about why you want to set up, right? So we talk about parent entities operating as the business, right? And then you might want to have, broken out from that, you might want to have a management corp, that the online entity, the operating entity actually forms. Then you might want to have, the entity that's going to hold a property, and then you might want to, have the one that's actually going to pay you, as a speaker, as a coach, as some type of educational provider, but that will be armed out of your parent company. So the concept that I want to get across is that when you actually now set yourself up to do business, you need to figure out what type of business are you going to be running, because it's going to matter, because it's going to depend on how you should be formed. Okay, so that's why I wanted to get a little bit into business entity. And if I confuse all of you on the line, then you really need to be at our February 9th meeting, at the REIA NYC's meeting at the Trip Hotel. We meet the second Thursday of every month. And you can go online and go to REIANYC.org/events, and you can just register for our next meeting. So getting into business entity structuring. So you want to make sure you set up your business model. So you form your entity, okay, however that may be. You also want to make sure you set up some merchant services, right? So we're not going to get into business credit and things of that sort right now, but obviously that's a part of setting up your business entity, because you want to make sure that you're setting up yourself to be able to succeed in business and get funding. So you want to make sure that you're setting yourself up properly. You want to make sure that you have all the different criteria that you need to actually meet underwriting guidelines for business credit and or funding. You also want to set up some merchant account services, right? So whether it's PayPal, whether it's Google Checkout, Stripe, or some of the other online merchant services that might be out there, you want to make sure you set yourself up with that. Because if you're running events, if you have some type of e-commerce online, you definitely want to make sure that you have a way to take payment. Okay, so merchant services is going to be very important, okay? You also want to make sure you set yourself up with your business domain and have your business website set up. Now, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money right now on, a website. If you're in real estate, obviously, if you're a member of REIA NYC, you have RealFlow, okay? You would just go in and you would sign up for RealFlow, pay your $7 a month, and then you have your nice, pristine CRM and your website set up for you right through RealFlow. And then you also get your, leads and things of that sort. So that's one of the benefits of being a member of REIA NYC. So you build out this website on Weebly or Wix or some other service that you can do inexpensively, and then you also set up your database system in your CRM, which could be MailChimp or something like that. And then you work with your team leader with REIA NYC, and you set up your 120-day plan and your one-year business plan. And now, obviously, you may need Heather's, assistance for that because you're running out your business plan and you're running out some business models, making sure that you actually have your numbers set up so that you can actually succeed in business. Secondly, we talk about that team, right? So you want to hire a CPA that actually knows real estate investing. If you're in the stock market, they have to know stock market investing. They have to know about notes. They have to know about all these different real estate investing techniques and or business strategies that you're going to be utilizing in your business. If you're running business in different states, they also need to make sure you're set up properly so that you can now take advantages of the different state tax laws, not just your home state. And then you want to set up your bookkeeping system. So whether it's QuickBooks or whatever type of Excel spreadsheet you might use, if you want to go old school, you just want to make sure you have that set up. And if you don't have a bookkeeper on your team, you need to get one. Okay, these are some, and if you can do it yourself, then obviously you can do it yourself. You want to make sure you have a good realtor. Okay, you need to get an investor agent. Okay, in REIA NYC, we encourage investor agency. So we teach our investors how to be agents and our agents how to be investors, okay? So you want to get a really good investor agent that really understands the investing models and strategies and also understands the agency laws and what needs to happen for you to find good properties and things of that sort, okay? You also want to get a good attorney. Okay, an attorney, if you are doing creative finance, you need to find an attorney that actually knows how to set up your creative finance templates, your lease options, land contracts, seller finance documents, things of that sort. Wholesaling, they need to make sure that, they understand that wholesaling is not illegal. Okay, if you get an attorney and they say you can't do that, then obviously that's not a right attorney for you. So you got to make sure you get a good attorney on your team. And then you also want to make sure you find a good accountability partner and a mastermind group. Your team leader actually helps you in this venture, so you will contact your team leader and let them know that you're actually looking for an accountability partner, and then your accountability partner will then search for other people on your team that's actually looking for an accountability partner, and then hopefully a match can be made from that. Then you also have networking, okay? Networking to build your database, okay? If you're not talking to people every day about your business, whether it be investing, that I buy and sell homes, or, that I have properties, for you to invest in. I'm looking for business partners. I'm looking for joint venture partners. If you're not talking to people and practicing that elevator pitch every day, then you're not building up your database. And I'm not talking about just going to meetup groups, okay? There's some meetup groups that's out there that's great, and there's some meetup groups that's out there to sell their crap to you, okay? I'm talking about going to network on purpose, understanding that I'm looking for realtors to fill my database. So I'm going specifically to find realtors, and then I'm going to network until I find my 3 realtors that I came here to find, and then I can network with other people. Or if I'm going to find a CPA, I will network until I find my CPA in this event, and then until I do that, then I'll focus on other people. Network on purpose. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. And so talk to at least 10 people per day to fill your database. And then you want to make sure that you follow up with those people. So you want to make sure that you enter your leads. We have James Thompson and Diane DeMaria that's on our REIA team. And what they actually help our members do is actually create brand maps. So that you can identify all the different businesses that you're involved in, your different brands, and how to create funnels or marketing funnels for each of those brands. So if you want to enter your leads in a CRM like Infusionsoft or ClickFunnels or MailChimp, then you want to make sure that you're putting it in properly, and then you're setting, your tickler or your sequencing so that 24 hours after the event, I'm going to send out, this email, and then, 2 weeks after that, I'm going to invite them to lunch, or I'm going to schedule a phone call or something like that. That's how you network to build your database. A lot of people don't know how to network, and that's why they don't grow their business. in order for you to make $100,000 in your business, you need to treat your business like a business and set it up like a system. And a lot of people don't do that. And so that leads us to the next topic, which is marketing, right? Creating those email marketing programs and campaigns. So you want to make sure that you sit down, and I tell people this, especially the ones that I coach, on Sunday, you want to sit down and create at least 7 to 20 autoresponder messages. So if I'm going to meet CPAs, and I'm going to meet attorneys, and I'm going to meet realtors and all that, you want to create at least, 3 to 5 email responders, autoresponders for each of those different people that you're actually going to meet, so that it can be set on autopilot. So you don't even have to think about it anymore. Okay? So you want to set up that marketing campaign because you need to do 9 to 11 touches, with a target, a specific prospect every month. Okay, so that can be touched by just an inbox on Facebook. That can be touched by an email or a text message, or however you decided that you're going to reach out to them. And then you want to make sure that if you're in REIA, then you make sure you get on at least one coaching call per month, so that you can make sure that you get your Q&As answered and make sure that we help you overcome any obstacles that you actually may be experiencing. And then you want to decide, what strategies actually work best for you, okay? So sales pages, okay? Some people use lead pages, right, to create those nice lead pages and things of that sort. So do you use lead pages? Do you create your sales pages? Whether you're doing makeup, because I always encourage everyone to do a side hustle. We are the one of the few, actually I think we are the only, REIA that focuses on business. So real estate as a business, your business as a business, and actually joint venture partnering to add revenue to your actual bottom line, okay? So I want you to focus on sales pages. So whether you're looking for, tenant buyers, if you're doing some lease options, if you're looking for sellers, you need sales pages for that. We call them lead pages. We call them, squeeze pages, all different types of names. But just create something that's specifically targeted to that specific target prospect that you're leading to that page, okay? You can create teleseminars. Maybe that's your marketing strategy. Maybe you want to do some SEO and pay per click and things of that sort. Gets a little bit expensive, so if you have low on budget, I would tell you kind of don't do that yet, unless you can do it yourself on your websites and things of that sort, and your backlinks and all that. But I would say kind of stay away from SEO, pay per click, until you actually start generating some money to add to your marketing budget for that. And then joint ventures and affiliates. I am a big proponent of joint venturing. Okay, partnerships are key. In this 2017, REIA NYC's motto is team. Okay, we don't believe in self-made millionaires. We only believe in team-made millionaires. Okay, no one became a millionaire by themselves, and for them to say they're self-made is ridiculous. Okay, so joint venture partners. So you might have something, that you can add value to someone else, and it doesn't cause competition, but it actually supplements what it is that you already are doing. And then you can partner together, because 0 times 0 is 0. Okay, so if you can get something and they can get something, then it's a very beneficial, lucrative joint venture. Referrals. Last month in January, our January meeting, I talked about creating your referral program. Okay, everyone, if you're asking someone to give you referrals, realtors do it all the time. I'll pay you $500 for a referral or whatever the case may be. Now we have to be a little bit careful because, you really can't pay referrals as lead generators or bird dogs or things of that sort, if it's contingent upon closing, right? It has to actually be paid regardless of whether they close. So it's more of you're paying for the lead and not actually paying contingent upon the closing. Paid traffic might be a way. We talked about that. And also social media. Use social media till the wheels fall off, because it's free unless you're doing actual paid ads, Facebook ads and Twitter ads and things of that sort. And you can put your budget to $1 per day, so that's only $30 a month, and you can just start building your list that way. So you want to focus on which actual campaigns you want to start with. Don't try to do more than one strategy at a time. Why? Because you want to see what's working. So maybe you want to do a month, 30 days, you want to focus on this strategy. And then the next 30 days, you know, you can look and see what the metric is, especially if you're doing Facebook, they actually track it for you and see who's opening, what's your open rate. If you're doing email marketing, you know, how is that working out for you? If you're doing Twitter, how is that working out for you? Okay? And plan your campaigns, you know, a more elaborate campaign later as you go along. Okay? Now, my favorite is sales and the sales funnel. And I'm going to be the first to tell you that every time someone talked about sales, it actually made me cringe. I totally, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not in the convincing business. You don't want to buy, don't buy. You don't want to come, don't come. But the bottom line is, if you don't make sales, you don't make money. If you don't sell that real estate, then you actually don't get a commission. If you don't sell your book, you don't get paid. If you don't do, you know, so sales is everything. So we have to start loving sales. Okay, and so we have to change our mindset so that this year we understand that sales is just a part of the business, and we're selling hope and opportunity to people. And if you have a good service or a good product, especially if you're not a slumlord, if you're doing real estate and you have great properties and you think that people will benefit from that, you know, I think that you'll be doing people a disservice if you don't actually market that properly and you get them into your property as opposed to some lord that they fell prey to just because you didn't put yourself out there and you didn't know how to sell your property correctly. Okay? So with sales, we know we need to create a product funnel. And the product funnel means that how many things do we have to offer? So people say that, oh, I just do real estate investing. You don't just do real estate investing, because if you just did real estate investing, you will starve. Okay, because it's hard to find a cash buyer at the end of the day. Okay, it's hard to actually, you know, wait on that closing, because although we say that cash deals, you know, we'll close in 30 days, how often does that really happen, especially if you can't find a cash buyer? So if you're just waiting on properties to close, then you're going to starve. So you need to make sure you have some other type of products in your funnel that you actually can sell. So if you are a realtor and you know how people can find property or sell their property or design their property from a staging position, why don't you create an ebook about staging? Why don't you create an ebook about how to properly list your property? You know, obviously you can, you know, market yourself and say that obviously, you know, these are the kinds of things you want to look for in a realtor, and I happen to have all those characteristics or whatever the case may be. So obviously you slide in your own thing, but, you know, create a product around it. If you have been to coaching programs and things of that sort, and you actually have been successful in some of the strategies or whatever, put your own spin on it and actually create, you know, some type of mastermind group around, you know, what you do. Like-minded individuals, and you actually can charge a fee for them to join your mastermind. Okay, now if you have no experience, you want to be, you know, very realistic. Maybe in the beginning you just cover your venue and things of that sort, so you're not out of pocket. But you can't charge, you know, $10,000 and you don't really, you know, have experience doing the thing that you are saying that you are purporting that you can do. So we have to be realistic on that. But create a product. Everybody needs a product. So if you don't have a book, get a book. You know, if you can't write a book, then do an ebook. Okay? Do a webinar, you know, series and charge people. Okay? Create your revenue model. So for every product, there's a price, correct? So if you have an ebook, obviously you're going to start with a free something, right? Because you got to build your list. So give me your name and you get this free thing. Now, give it something of value. Don't give junk, okay? Because people give you the junk email, you know, so that, you know, they know that it's not going to be worth anything and they don't want you emailing them and stuff, so they give you junk stuff. If you give them a value, they want to give you a real email address so that they can actually get it, okay? So create a revenue model based on those products. So whether it's $10, $5, you know, whatever it is. And now we can actually model out, okay, how much money, how many units you need to sell of that thing so that we can hit our number. Okay, so the key to making the 100K is actually having enough products in the funnel to actually hit that number. And obviously, REIA NYC, we focus on your passion. So we don't want you to go outside of things that you already do, you know, because that doesn't make any sense. We don't want you going to school. We don't want you creating a class. We don't want you going to class to have to create something. We want you to, you know, profit from something that you actually know how to do right now, you know, and everybody has a skill that they can actually sell. Okay, we just don't. We give it away for free all the time. So in 2017, just say no. No to free. Okay, if someone wants your help, you put a price tag on it. And that's just how we need to proceed moving forward, okay? And then with that revenue model, then we need to track our leads, okay, for lead generation so that we know if we're actually converting those things into sales, okay? So now let's talk about defining our unique value proposition. So if you are a wholesaler, what are you offering? Okay, you're offering wholesale properties, right? Who are you offering it to? You know, you're offering it to retail investors, right? Or cash investors if actually going to sell it, you know, or resell it for retail. If you are doing consulting or something like that, you know, what are you offering? What problem does it solve? Okay, you know, how are you different in that thing? You know, because every wholesaler does the same thing. You know, every lease option person does the same thing, okay? So if I'm offering lease options, okay, because that's happened to be my strategy. So if I offer lease options, what problem does it solve? It solves a problem that I allow you to do a rent-to-own with me and solve your credit access problem because you need time to repair and restore your credit. So I solve that problem. What makes me different is because I actually help you do it myself. I have a credit restoration company that I don't charge you anything extra. I actually, you know, put you into the program. I work with you over the 12 months so that I help you be able to qualify for your mortgage in the next 12 months. Why should someone buy from me? Because if you cannot qualify for that mortgage, then I will have to put you into another property that actually you may be able to qualify for. So I just don't take your money and then turn you loose and then say, oh, well, too bad, so sad. You know, I actually help you get to the end goal of getting a property because the reason you came to me is because you want a property. The reason you can't is because you have poor credit or you don't have enough monies to be able to do that. And I buy you time to actually do that. That's my unique value proposition. Nobody does it like me, and that's what makes me different. And you need to find out what your unique value proposition is. And that is going to be key. That's going to make you make the monies that you want to make, especially in, you know, this 2017. And so your team leaders help you find, you know, the fastest path to cash, right? So your fast cash, remember I said, something that you don't need to think about, something you don't have to go to school for, something you already know how to do. That's your fast cash, money you can make today. If I said, you know, are you a life coach? You know, you say, no, I'm not a life coach. Well, you know, people call you for advice all the time. People call you for references all the time. People ask you, you know, for you to actually connect them with XYZ. You know, maybe you're a connector, maybe you're whatever. You know, now you just market yourself as such, and you get paid for it. Okay? And then, you know, medium is like, okay, well, maybe I need to think about it some more. I can't kind of make money in it to you know, today, but within the next 60 days, I actually can. Make some money in that. And then over the long term, I can make some serious money on that. So long term is like more than 60 days. Okay? But I want you to start thinking about right now, fast cash. What can you actually make money in today? Okay? If somebody had a gun to your head and they said, tell me how you can make money today. And we don't want you to go to school. We want you to do it from the skill sets that you already have. What would you do? And that's your fast skill that I want you to focus on in the next 60 days, okay? And then you want to match your skills with your ideas. So you find out what those skills are. You find out what really excites you because you don't want to create another job, correct? You want to make sure that it's something that actually excites you. And then how have you made money in that thing in the past, okay? If you actually know that I did this, I made a craft and somebody paid for it and whatever, then maybe do that. I cook cookies, I can cook, I can make money from that. You know, whatever it is, we can make this side hustle actually pay down some of our debt so that now we can use those credit cards as investment cards, and now we can now have money that we can now get into some actual business deals and some real estate transactions. That's the whole goal, is to try to figure out what we actually have inside of us that we now can birth to make the money that we need to make. And then what's your preference? You know, do you want to build, buy, or partner? Okay? Building it means I have the skills, you know, I just want to get out of my W-2. I'm going to just start from home, and I got an entrepreneur spirit, and I'm going to do it. And I got more time than money. Okay? So I'm just going to do it myself. Okay, that's fine. You know, and then you got the buy people. I got the money. I can find the money. I can jumpstart. You know, I got somebody who can help me. I got a team. I want to be a passive investor to get into something. You know, okay, that's the buy category. And then you have the partner category. not really an entrepreneur. I really like to work in teams. That's why we have our turnkey mastermind. That's why we have our note mastermind where we partner together and, help do deals together and stuff like that. Because, some people work better in teams. They learn together, and it's not a lot of risk, because you share the risk across the team, kind of cool. And then you have, the more analytical people, they really good at, running a company as a manager, but they're not really good at starting it, like jump starting it. Okay, and they have limited time, so they might want to partner. So I'll do this, you do that. So that's also a great way that you can actually get in. And then, making sure that you set your goals, long term and work backwards, and then you want your short term. We really talked about this. So 1 year out, 6 months out, monthly, really work backwards. And you really want to help do this with your revenue model. And then those immediate goals, that fast cash goal, goals that you can set for yourself every single week, every day. I can get this done. Okay. I do my weekly goals every Sunday, because I want to make sure I hit my goals. I'm very task oriented. Because I got a lot of businesses and I got a lot of things going on, but I want to make sure that I hit those things. And then the sales process is really important because a lot of people don't like to get on the phone, okay? And that's going to be the bane of your existence. If you don't like the phone and you have limited money, then we're going to have a problem, because what does that mean? That means I have to get on the phone and schedule appointments. And appointments can mean lunch appointments. It can mean, just appointments that I want people to see my tool, my service, my real estate property. I'm offering some passive investment strategies that I want people to invest in. So I need their private money. So I need to, do appointments to sit down with them. Whatever the appointment is, doesn't matter. Okay. So once you put those leads in the database, you got to schedule those appointments, right? So, I have to have an appointment scheduler to schedule my appointments due to time. Okay. So you get a scheduler and they make 30-minute appointments for you in 30-minute intervals. You need to actually now spend at least 3 hours a day closing appointments, because they really can't close your appointments because only you know your voice. So you might need them to help you close the appointment. You need, yourself to close the appointment. And then you want to make sure that you understand that everything don't close in the first appointment. So you might have to call or connect to someone 9 to 11 times per month, per lead, in order for you to actually get one appointment, So it takes a little bit of time, and so you want to make sure you do that. But now we come to the best part, which is our money. The revenue modeling, the 100K. How do we get that? Okay? So you determine how much you want. I do 100K because it just makes sense. And my mentor, Lauren Langmeyer, does a 100K challenge. So that's what we start with, because most people, that's the first goal. You can't make $1 million until you know how to make 100,000. Okay? So let's just start with the 100,000, and then if we know how to do that, then we can just jumpstart, do the 250, and then we can go up to the 5. You know what I mean? So looking at the screen, for those people who are on the screen, and I will just say it, for those who are not, but if you're going to hit that 100K goal, okay, that's $100,000 a year. You have to work backwards from your end goal to create those results, right? So you got the $100,000 a year. That's going to break down to $83.33 a month, right? That's going to break down to $2,083 a week, or $416 or $483, depending on what calculator you use, per day. Now, we know, unless you're an internet marketer, you don't really make, money per day. Some people do, and that's internet marketers and quick people and affiliate marketers and things of that sort. But we in the real world that's not doing affiliate marketing, we don't make money per day. However, it just breaks it down so that you see how focused you have to be. I am 100% focused on my business, and I don't allow anyone to sway me from my goals, okay? My goals are a little higher, than 100K, but I break it down like this, and every single month when I look at my revenue model, I can see where I am. Oh, I should have sold, more product. Oh, I should have did this more. Or, oh, I need to scale back on that. Oh, I gave too many freebies, or whatever the case may be. I can analyze my business and close my gap really quickly if I know what my numbers are. Okay? So sometimes it's not about always cutting expenses. It's about making more money. Okay, because some people are like, I can't cut expenses anymore. I'm like living paycheck to paycheck as it is, and my bills, are my bills. I'm not, I'm not going shopping. I'm not doing all other kind of stuff. I just need to make more money. So that's what we're focused on in 2017, making more money. Not creating more debt, but making more money, okay? And so you just find out what you're an expert in, okay? What you want to sell. So outside of real estate, what do you want to sell? Then we have to create your price points, and then from that, we find out how many of those units we need to sell times your price to help us hit our revenue goal. And I'm hoping that makes sense. So when I open up the line, you can let me know. And so through the business strategies and the tactics to help us get there, we're going to break down our vision, our strategies, and our tactics. And so in our new member orientation, I always break down real estate as the vision, because we're a real estate investor association, right, for agents, entrepreneurs, and investors. So we focus on the strategies of obtaining investment dollars because we need that. We need to find, money partners. We need to find JV partners. So we have to develop certain things for that. So our strategy is actually going to obtain investment dollars. We need to locate and purchase properties. So that's another strategy that we need to go. And then we got to sell properties to buyers. That's another strategy. And then the tactics are all those action steps that actually support each of those strategies. Okay, so if we were in the network marketing, because we have a lot of people who also, as their side hustle, do network marketing or affiliate marketing. So let's just look at that for instance. So if we did, as a whole, we were focused on our network marketing arm of the business, what would a strategy be? So our strategies would be we have to build team leaders, right, because we need to create a residual business, so we need to build team leaders. We might need to expand retail sales division, which is direct sales, and then we need to build, downline business or customer service base. So I don't care whether you're selling makeup, I don't care whether you're selling, energy, whatever it is that you're selling on your side hustle, you still need to create the vision, the strategy, and the tactics that's going to support those strategies, okay? And that's what we help you do as a part of, your membership. And I'm just hoping that everyone takes a part in that. And so let's just now, as we end, there are going to be some obstacles. Okay, I went over a lot, and hopefully, you're getting into your mastermind, you're actually speaking to your team leaders, you're actually setting up your goals, and when you do that, you're going to run into some serious obstacles. Okay, so you need to think about ahead of time what things are going to now stop me from hitting those goals. What's going to stop me from hitting that 100K? What are the obstacles that I must overcome, in order for me to hit that? Okay, and so the first one, you got to identify it. So anticipate the obstacles, have the resources to deal with them, and then we're going to identify the most common ones, which is lack, skill, and knowledge. Okay. What are the things that you don't know, that you need to know to grow your business? We have to identify that, because if you lack the skill and the knowledge, that's going to be an obstacle from hindering us from actually hitting that goal. So we need to get around people that's actually going to allow us to hit that. And fortunately, that you have that in your team, REIA NYC. Also, you might not have enough time today. I'm working 12 hours a day, I'm working 15 hours a day, I just don't have enough time in the day. Well, I ask, how much time do you need to devote? So I know you say you don't have enough time, but how much time do you actually need to get these things accomplished? Everyone can pull out an hour. Don't care what you're doing. Everyone can pull out an hour. Okay, during your lunch break, on your drive home, on the subway home, whatever the case may be, you can devote at least an hour. So if you can devote at least an hour, that's 5 hours a week that you can dedicate to your business, okay? And we're not going to talk about weekends. Even if you have weekend time with family, because that's your devoted time, you can still pull out some time on a Saturday, unless you're on the Sabbath, that's your Sabbath, then you're doing it on a Sunday and vice versa. But you can always pull out some time to dedicate to your business. Okay, family comes, God, then family, and then everything else, but we need to make sure that we make sufficient time. The other obstacle is insufficient funds. Okay, everybody's been there. Don't make enough, don't have enough, whatever the case may be. That's what we've been working on. We're talking about finding that thing that's going to help us get the fastest path to cash. Okay, so if we have insufficient funds and that's our obstacle, then we need to figure out how much do you need to create that ideal plan. if we don't even know, because we don't even know the expenses that it's going to take, we don't know how much the internet hosting costs, we don't know how much it costs to run the website, we don't know all these things, we're just saying in our mind that we lack insufficient funds, then we kind of shooting in the dark. So we need to sit down and we need to figure out, well, how much funds will it actually take? And then we revenue model backwards to make sure that we get the money that we need to run the business, okay? The other obstacle may be no support. Okay, you don't have a support network. Everybody's Debbie Downers, okay, and no one really supports me. Get yourself in a good accountability group. Get yourself in a good mastermind group. That's what it's for. That's your support, okay? So you need to have people around you that can help you get unstuck. You don't need anyone like you that's going to now, keep you in the same position that you actually want to overcome. Okay, so then you identify the resources that's actually going to allow you to do that. So once you focus on the skills that you need, if it's not something that you need, if it's not useful, just block it out and move on. Okay, I don't need to know how to run Facebook ads. I can get somebody to do that for me. Okay, I need to know how it works, but I don't need to know how to set it up. That's a brain power I don't want to utilize. Okay. But I do need to learn how to do copywriting. Copy is key. I need to know how to do my own voice. I need to do my own advertising. So I'm learning that. I'm doing that, so that's something that I need to do. I can't block that out any longer, okay? Also, you need to manage your time and you need to delegate the rest. So you just budget and adjust your time accordingly, okay? I just can't do all the things I need to do in a given day, so I got to break it up. So just learn how to manage your time accordingly and budget wisely. Okay, when you are short of money and you know you need to do X, Y, and Z, call your team member, call your CPA, call your accountability partner. Find out if you can work out a plan together to see what actually makes sense. But get out of your own head and ask for help. Okay, build your support network. Okay, find those people around you that can help you. Okay, and overcome that obstacle. And then anticipate the obstacles. Consider what can go wrong and how you can prevent it, and then you'll be able to adjust accordingly. And then when you look at your revenue model, you estimate, all the different things that you actually need to do to actually make money from your business, okay? Your revenue is going to be the money earned before expenses, okay? That's like the gross, right? And then your average sale is going to be your total revenue divided by your actual sales, okay? And then the average revenue is going to be the average amount paid for each sale, times the number of those sales. So all these things is why you need to have a good accountability group, is why you need to have a good CPA and a good bookkeeper. But your target market size is very key. If you're actually looking for people with less than perfect credit because you're doing lease options, if you're looking for cash buyers because you're doing wholesaling, if you're looking for people who want to buy their first home or something like that, and you are a flipping rehabber, okay, you want to make sure that you have the right target audience and your marketing speaks to that audience for the buying power. You also want to make sure that you understand what is your percentage of the total market share of those people. As a lease option investor or a seller finance investor, I actually have a great market share. There's not a lot of competition in my market. There's a lot of lease option people out there, but they don't have the triple threat like I have, okay? And so that's what makes me different, and that's why my conversion rate can be higher. Okay, so you want to make sure that you understand how you actually go about estimating your revenue. And the 3 tips I want to give you is don't go with your gut. Get facts before making decisions. Get your accountability team. Get your CPA on your team. And make sure you get facts before you make decisions. Take a history lesson. Find out as much as possible from people who have done what you want to do and move on. Okay, because you don't want to try to recreate the wheel. People have done it before. People have tried to do it before and failed. People have tried to do it before and succeeded. You want to get a history lesson and find out what that is so that you can now make the best possible decisions you can. And don't worry about precision. Okay, go with your best guess based on the facts that you have before you. Okay, nothing is going to be perfect. Get it going, and then you can perfect it over time. Okay, then you put it all together. And then you plot it out, and then you are on your way to make sure that you actually can now get the best business plan for your business that will make you actually profitable. Okay? But to do that, you just got to make sure that you understand what your costs are, what your estimated revenues are, what's your own estimate on your time investment, how much time you can spend on that thing, and then calculate your break-even point. You know what I mean? How would you know that you actually made a profit? And then lastly, you want to make sure that, you do some final planning with your team leaders. You want to get on the phone and schedule some time with your team leader. They're going to have probably a group call or something like that, but you want to make sure that you speak with them and make sure that you're running ideas with your team leader. That's what they're there for. They're there to help you overcome your obstacles so that you can actually be the best version of yourself, be the best version of an investor that you want to be, or an entrepreneur if that's what you want to be. So lastly, I want to tell you guys before I open the call to schedule your game plan if you haven't already done so. You want to make sure you go onto the REIANYC.org website. You go to /REIA-game-plan. That's REIA-game-plan. And you want to schedule your game plan. And just see where you are and see how REIA NYC can help you. Maybe we know what mastermind you should go into and things of that sort. Masterminds don't cost anything. It's part of your membership. But you want to make sure that you actually, get what it is that you actually are looking for so that you don't be stuck. Okay? You want to make sure you come to new member orientation, whether it's online or live. You want to make sure that you speak to your team leaders. You want to make sure that you're staying engaged because that is the only way that REIA NYC can help you. We are the only real estate investor association that's out there, that is dedicated to actually help you succeed in real estate. Okay? We're not a meetup group. Okay? We're not a club. We're an actual association and the only chapter of National REIA who represents 40,000 investors across this country, and we're very proud of that. So we hope that you got a lot out of this call, and now I'm going to open up the call so I can actually hear from you. So let me just open it up. All right. Wow. Yeah, that's not going to work. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can.
All right, I had to put this in Q&A because I have no idea why the call is like that. So all guests are muted, but if you have a question, you can use *7 to unmute yourself. Does anyone have a question? I know I went through a lot, but I want to make sure that I give you the opportunity to ask a question.
Okay. I have a question. I know that you're an attorney. Would you be somebody that I would be able to make an appointment with to set up an LLC and to figure out setting up the entity and how the entity should be set up?
Yes, I am an attorney. I can advise you to do that. Now, are you a REIA member?
No, not yet.
Okay, so
I've been to the meetings, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right. So one of the things I would
what constitutes a member, so I'm not sure.
Okay, so what I would advise you to do is at least schedule a game plan, doesn't cost anything, so that we can go over specifically what you're looking for, and that way, I can best guide you to where you need to go and how you can best be served, and what area you're looking to set up your entity and what you're looking to do. So I definitely can make sure that I guide you in that. So just schedule your game plan, and then we will get back to you on that.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Any other questions before you go?
No, that's my. I need to start. I feel like I need to start there.
Okay. So I would also tell you come to our February 9th meeting because I'm actually going over entity structures and formations and what formation may be better suited for this type of business versus that type of business and things of that sort. And if you're actually looking to invest, I'm actually going over outside markets outside of New York that may also interest you based on an entity structure.
Yeah, I so you have a trip set up for Cleveland. Yeah, right now I've already been investing, but I need to. When you spoke about like the structuring the entity with the bigger entity and then having smaller entities and stuff like that, that's what's of interest to me. And
got it. Okay.
I'd like to know more about it, and I'd like to know more specifically for my own situation. So that's why I wanted to know if people could set up an appointment with you individually to do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how would I go about doing that?
So just still do the game plan, and then I will make sure that I speak to you regarding that specific, because that's more of an advanced structuring strategy. Right. It's more asset protection as opposed to entity formation. So absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you so much.
No problem. Anyone else?
Hey, Teresa. This is Gary Garnett. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Gary. How are you?
Good. So right now I'm focused on I'm focused on the sandwich lease option strategy, and I've went through all the top 5. I went to Walking the Neighborhood. I did a primary search on citydata.com. I went to Open House. It's like I feel like I don't know enough. I've been going through the flashcards, going through the questions. When do you know at a certain point I'm ready to talk to the owner? Or is that just a mindset thing?
That's a mindset thing, because one of the things is how are you going about marketing for the owner? Because you got to kind of make sure that they're motivated, right? Because they're not going to know what lease options is and sandwich lease options and all that. So you're going to have to make sure you find a motivated seller. It's the same concept, right? So my little dig that I look for sellers is through landlord-tenant courts. Because, they might be burnout landlords. You know what I mean? That's usually who lease option owners are. So you really want to kind of start looking where you're going to be looking for these owners at. It's very easy to find tenant buyers. That's not even, there's so many people with less than perfect credit and less money to actually close on a property right now. You don't really need to focus on that. Once you put your landing page and stuff up, that will, do its due. You just have to make sure that your contracts are right. You got your templates and everything in order, making sure that you understand the structuring of the lease option deal, and then going out trying to locate your sellers, your owners, at least building that database, and then reaching back to say, okay, here's my database of 20, if you will, and then what's my best structure on how I can actually now approach them. And then, we can just, reach out and you can call and do some masterminding, and we can figure out how we can work a script to actually reach out to that owner for that. But the bottom line is you definitely got to make sure you find those motivated owners because that's the key to getting this deal done. Because if they're not motivated, they're not going to do a lease option deal with you, irregardless how great it is.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Great. I wrote this down. I have one more question about when you become an agent. If you decide to become an agent, it's like 2 questions I want to ask. When you first became an agent, one of the things I heard about in a video clip is that some brokers don't like their agents doing investing only. Did you have a problem with that when you started your real estate journey, or did you have a problem with that with your broker at the time?
Well, the reason why they don't want you to focus on investments only is because it's not a lot of investors who actually are out there doing real estate, that know that you're an investor agent type stuff. So I wouldn't go to a broker that actually wouldn't let me focus just on investments. Okay? They want you in the office. Let me back up. It depends on why you want to be a salesperson. Okay? So if you want to be I never became a salesperson to be a salesperson. I'm not driving nobody around in my car. I'm not going to look for no property. I'm not doing any of that. That's a job. I don't do that. Okay? I use my license for what I use it for, which is the MLS and to get deals. And if I can't, sell the deal, I list the deal. If I can't list the deal, I partner. If I can't, I'm a broker, so I'm not a sales agent, but that's how investors, agents think. They don't think about having a job to go sell real estate to a home buyer. They want to actually focus on investors, and that's their market, and that's what they do. Okay? So just what I'm saying to you is if you find a broker that tells you that, then you just go to find another broker. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
And there's plenty of them out there that want to do the investment deal because they know that you'll get more deals dealing with investors than you will with homeowners, because homeowners don't buy property every month. Okay? Investors do. You know. So you just have to find the right broker. So no,
okay, cool.
I didn't have that issue.
Did you take the class? Did you find it better to take the class online, or did you find it better to go in a classroom setting?
I would think that you would. It depends on your time, but live is always better if you can have it. Okay, because you network. You know, so live is better because you network. So anytime you have a live versus an online, and you have the time to do live, always choose live. If because of time you can't do live, then obviously you just do online. But obviously live would always be best because of the networking opportunities that you have.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Teresa.
Oh, no problem.
Hi, Teresa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, Teresa, it's Tawana.
Hi, Tawana.
We met some years ago.
I remember you. I see you on Facebook.
You do? You remember from Detroit?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Now we're doing Cleveland. So okay. I'm doing super fantastic.
I hear. So my question is, since you are a broker and you are very, very much very knowledgeable in the investment side, do you hire salespeople under you?
I place salespeople under me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't use that term hire, right? So we don't do hire.
Okay.
You're right. But yeah, I place people under me, and we also strategize because Tawana, you know how I am. It's all about multiple streams of income. So the whole concept is that I want my investor agents to actually understand that license also means that they, one, are investors, two, that they actually can list as a sale agent, and also they can get revenue as managing property management, right? Because that's three streams that you can actually utilize by your license.
Perfect.
So for me, that's what an investor agent does. You use this one license and you have three streams of income based on that license. So that's some of the stuff that I want to focus on. In March, we're actually having our investor agent class, a master class, so I definitely want you to reach out to me so that you can come to that. Yeah, all right, there you go.
And I'm not with a broker, so that's why I'm like.
So you're hanging out there. So yes, definitely.
I'm hanging out there. I need you to come and fish me out the waters.
All right. I got my fishing rod. So definitely make sure you fill out your game plan, Tawana. Shoot me an email directly so that we can set you up and connect.
Okay, perfect. I will.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you.
No problem. Oh, and just so you know, we also structured a way where the investor agent, so anyone with their license, as long as they are investor agent, you know, we actually have a way that you can actually get paid on out-of-state investing. So remember when we did the Detroit investing? Now we have our done-for-you team. So people who want to do the done-for-you turnkey real estate, if you refer people that want to do that, you actually can get your 25% commission.
Perfect. Yeah, referral,
if you hold a license. So that's why I want people to get some of this money on the table. You know what I mean?
And I also I'm also licensed in New York and New Jersey for insurance, life insurance.
Awesome. Well, we definitely got to talk then. We definitely got to talk. So we definitely got to talk, only because that's a whole nother strategy of how we help people turn their whole life into a term and invest the difference. So definitely want to talk to you more about that as well.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good job. Thanks, Tawana.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
Hey, Teresa. Hi, Teresa. It's Aaron.
Hi.
Hi, Aaron. Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. So who would I talk to regarding your mastermind group or what have you for a consultation on a potential deal that I might have? A potential lease option deal. I figured since that's your thing, I would want to talk to you about it because that's your area of expertise. But
what I would do is I would I would send a consulting thing because that's probably it's probably a deal review. Is it a deal review?
I don't know exactly what a deal review entails, but yeah, it sounds like it would be. I have a listing. I've got comps for both sales and rentals. Numbers look okay, but I'm very much a newbie at analyzing the numbers. I don't really know how to do it properly. I would want to a helping hand in doing all of this stuff properly and pitching to the owners a lease option to begin with, because they're older. They more than likely don't know what a sandwich lease option even is. They're probably scared by words like that. How do we, get them comfortable with and get them to realize that this is actually going to help them? Because what they want is to get out of the property so that they can move in with their daughter. But they're also kind of greedy because their listing has been up for 700 plus days because they're pricing it too high. They want too much for it and they won't really negotiate. But yeah, I mean, I took a look at it. Everything looks good. It seems like it's rental already. I don't really need to touch it. But I would want someone to help me set up the deal. Their agent is like desperate to make a deal. They want to make a deal really bad.
It's two things. It's two things that you broke down. So one is the number.
Hi, this is Lena. I want to ask. I wonder, where is this property at?
It's in Bergen County, New Jersey, Ridgefield specifically.
Because I've been looking for a lease where I can probably lease to own. So I was just wondering where it is. But maybe I'll get out now and let you continue to tell your story. I mean, I would love to hear the details.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people would. This is like, I've never done a deal before. This is my first time. To me, things look good on paper based on what I've researched and studied. This sounds like it would be the right, appropriate strategy based on, the criteria, but I don't know how to execute it. I've never done one before. I would just know. I know that's your thing, Teresa. That's like your go-to strategy, and I would just be curious, who can I talk to get a consultation or a helping hand on this?
Well, the first aspect of the question was your numbers. So your numbers would be you would set up an appointment with Heather to run the numbers.
Okay.
To make sure the numbers are set. And then the second part of your question is, how do you actually structure the deal as far as speaking to the owner and things of that sort. And we have people who are, currently doing lease options. They got their forms, they got all that stuff together, and they have formed a mastermind or planned to form a mastermind. I know Chris Setapani is one. I know Paul Bodley is another. So it's a matter of just reaching out to them and then seeking guidance on how to actually structure that.
Okay, so wait,
and I can put you in contact. I can put you in contact with them. To reach out to the mastermind and those people who form the mastermind around lease options and sandwich leasing. But the first person is going to be Heather because she's the numbers person. So so I'll make sure that you get the contact information for Chris and Paul for that lease option mastermind.
Okay, and it's okay that, like I said, this is in Bergen County, New Jersey. Does Heather know that market, or does it not matter?
Numbers and numbers. Numbers don't matter.
Numbers and numbers? Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, numbers don't matter.
Great. So, I can find Heather's contact info where
it's heather.reanyc@gmail.com. heather.reanyc@gmail.com.
heather.reanyc@gmail.com. Okay. Thanks, Teresa.
Oh, no problem, Aaron. All right. Any other questions? We've got 3 minutes.
I have one.
Sure.
Can you hear
Your
me?
name?
Brian Pendergrass.
Hi, Brian Pendergrass.
Brown Pendergrass. I'm a real estate attorney and real estate broker in Maryland, and I'm also licensed to practice law in D.C. And I was calling because I was wondering if you do you work with attorneys and investors and brokers in Maryland and D.C. or outside of NYC?
If my investors are looking for team members in that area and looking for properties in that area, and the attorneys actually can help them, then I work with everybody. Whoever can help the members get deals closed and help them advise in evictions and things of that sort. We have attorney partners all over the country, especially in the areas that we invest. So the answer to that is absolutely.
Okay. Oh yeah. All right. Cool. I'm a closing attorney out here in Maryland as well, and I do evictions. So this might be something that I can help with.
Awesome.
All right. I guess I'll maybe contact you about working with you.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Will do.
Anyone else? Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for staying on the call for the Q&A. I truly hope that, you take part in our next upcoming REIA NYC meeting on February 9th. And for those people who are interested in getting their game plans done, remember that's REIANYC.org/REIA-game-plan. And we look forward to speaking with you soon. Until then,
Teresa,
have a blessed... Yes?
can you hear me? I had my on mute from the beginning, and I was trying to get through. I just have a slight question.
Okay, quickly.
Hello? Yeah.
Quickly.
Okay. All right, quickly. I have a multi-family building in Brooklyn, and the question is, it's under the form of a corporation. It's a subchapter F corporation, and it's my understanding that that's not the best form to have it under. So I'm wondering, can it be transferred to an LLC?
Any form can be converted into an LLC. So if it's an S corp is just a selection. An election. So for instance, you'll have an LLC with a S corp election. So yes, it can be converted into whatever it is that you need it to be converted to.
I'm going to come to the meeting on the 9th, and can you see, is anybody that I can discuss how to approach that?
Well, we can. I'm sure we'll have attorneys there, but yes, if you come, I'll talk about that, and then if you fill out a game plan, I can actually put you in touch with whoever it is that we need to do that for you. If it's not myself, then it can be another team member in the legal game. So just fill out a game plan, and we can get that done.
Okay, great. All right, thank you. Mm-hmm.
No problem. Thank you guys so much. And we're going to end the call, and I look forward to hearing all of you and seeing all of you at the February 9th meeting. Thank you so much. Shark, good night. S Corp election. So yes, it can be converted into whatever it is that you need it to be converted to.